A brave woman stares down the hulking monster who kept her captive in a shipping container for 65 terrifying days. Kayla was chained inside the shipping container, hidden by dense woods on Kohlhepp's sprawling 95-acre ranch.
My neck's attached to the wall up here.
Okay.
This video contains the interview of a man who committed a string of murders spanning several decades and may have more victims. Todd Kohlhepp was just 2 years old when his parents divorced. His mother gained full custody and remarried almost a year later to a man uninterested in being a father to Kohlhepp. The two had an unhealthy relationship, and Kohlhepp longed to live with his biological father. This may have played a part in his reputation as a troublesome child. Kohlhepp was often violent and destructive with other children, which led to him spending 3.5 months in a Georgia psychiatric hospital as an inpatient. Things escalated drastically when Kohlhepp was 15. He kidnapped a 14-year-old girl, Christy Granado, and threatened her with a .22 caliber revolver. Brought her back to his home, tied her up, taped her mouth shut, and took advantage of her. He then walked her home and threatened to murder her family if she told anyone. He was arrested for the kidnapping and related charges and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Kohlhepp served 14 years, and when he was released, he seemed to turn his life around by becoming successful as a graphic designer and real estate agent, although many people claim he made them highly uncomfortable. In 2003, Kohlhepp became enraged at a motorcycle shop where he felt the employees were making fun of him. He shot 4 people and managed to escape without being recognized. Kohlhepp managed to keep a low profile until 2016, when everything began to unravel. Kayla Brown, 30, and her boyfriend Charles David Carver, 32, went missing after they went to remove brush from one of Kohlhepp's properties. Carver was later found dead of multiple gunshots on the property. The investigation led to a metal storage building on the same property where the authorities found Brown chained inside, still alive. She had witnessed Kohlhepp shooting Carver, but Kohlhepp decided to keep her there because he claimed he didn't want to kill her. 2 more bodies were discovered on Kohlhepp's property, a husband and wife who Kohlhepp had also hired to clean up the area.
Travis Morgan. I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool. So, when's the Travis Morgan one?
Oh, Travis Morgan was the guy that I hired over there that started to do work.
I heard that name.
He ain't with the shit, man.
What's he, I mean, is that what he does, clean?
No, what he does, he goes on upstate home maintenance, whatever. He's full of shit. What he does, he goes out there and he goes on Facebook. I posted on Facebook one day. I was looking for cleaning people in regard to Vista the first time.
Okay.
When they first,
When is Vista just a house, right?
It's just a house. It's just that it's got bad omens, man.
That's the one in Shadow Lakes.
No, sir. That's the one in Twin Lakes.
I mean Twin Lakes. That's what I mean, Twin Lakes.
I moved a crazy lady, a lady who had two daughters that were underage in there, and when I had to go there the very first time to resolve an issue, the 14-year-old came on to me, and I left and went, oh, hell to the no. And from that point on, anytime I send a service pot guy over there, I actually pay double to make sure that
There's another person with them.
at all times.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'd rather pay the extra money because as soon as they bring him into it, and barely my company name is involved in it, I'd rather pay the extra money. Got them moved out, took 13 truckloads of trash out of the house. Then I moved in the Catholic people who both work at the church. I'm thinking, safe bet, right?
Yeah.
He broke into the closet where they kept the communion wine, and he drank God's stash. And he got drunk and got caught. This guy's like 55 years old.
You know you're in trouble when you steal from the church. You know?
Even I won't.
I mean, come on. It's one thing if you're a teenager and you sneak in there and get the wine, but if you're a grown man and you break in, you know what I mean?
There's just some things in life you don't do. So I got them out of there. Then I moved in the car salesman. Now, what's the car salesman? They were there approximately just a couple, like the first month, the second month they didn't thank you. They didn't want to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And we had repairs to do. Well, in between that, I had Travis come in, And he was supposed to do, he billed himself as we do everything. Gonna fix the holes in the wall, gonna fix stuff in the ceiling, gonna go ahead and fix the doors, gonna go ahead and fix this. He didn't fix anything. Brought his mom in. Supposedly his mom shampooed the house. My thing was, I'd like to know how you shampoo the house when the water's not turned on. This is a 4,400 square foot house, so you have to bring a lot of water in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we brought it in by buckets. I'm gonna call bullshit.
What, did you go steal it from one of the lakes?
Well, there is that, but that's not what you really want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I mean,
but he
do it like the Amish buckle.
But he promised me that he basically built himself as, I do this, I do electrician, I do roof, I do this, we do this, on all this license stuff. He didn't have a license for anything. Well, I didn't know that. Well, I got him hooked up with several of my agents who were doing rehabs and a bunch of my other properties that I manage, I don't own. And got them in doing all these repairs. Well, he had like $65,000 worth of repairs going on, and then find out afterwards in steps that all of a sudden I got owners calling me going, your guy ain't shit. He didn't do this, he didn't do this, he didn't do this, he didn't. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to track him down. Then he had to go fix, I had a house, I had to have the lawn mowed in the middle of the summer over in Bowling Springs. The backyard's on a hill like this, and he already got paid for it. Then he wouldn't go do the job. Well, I had to get it mowed before the appraisal came in, so my big ass went and put the push mower in the back of my SUV, drove over there, and I spent the day pushing a push mower up the hill. Owner bought me that bottle of Woodburn Reserve. He's like, yeah, you definitely earned it. Yeah, it was a little on the crazy side. No, that dude you showed me, I don't know him.
Okay.
Why would they say that he was...
He used to hunt there. I guess it was before you owned the property.
There's a lot of people who hunted there before me.
Yeah, he used to hunt there, because we found several deer stands. We found two that I've seen. There's one it's been there for a while, it's like an old wood dilapidated one, and then there's a metal one.
The metal one I left.
Okay, yeah. There's one, it's just, like when we were walking out there, you could see where it had been, and it's been a long time.
Well, where they used to be, I drove that forestry cutter. I drove into and put the thing up and just Cuisinarted them.
Okay.
I didn't know there was another one out there, unless I missed one.
Yeah, it's out there, but he used to hunt out there on that land, and he, one of the nieces was under the impression he did work for you, or he cleaned for you, or one served, something like that.
I've never seen it before.
In 2014, Kohlhepp bought nearly 100 acres of land, which he completely fenced in. Right now, you can watch another incredibly intense case on my Patreon. Discover the disturbing story of the Ken and Barbie killers, a terrifying tale about a couple obsessed with violence. Dive into their dark journey as they become immersed in unimaginable horrors. Watch this shocking video, along with many others, at patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
Okay.
Now, as far as the land goes, I mean, I went out there almost every day, actually every day, and sometimes more than once.
Yeah.
And I mean, I patrolled I made sure the neighbors saw me.
Okay.
When they see you, they don't bother you, except for the guy who's across in the trailer.
Right.
He's nosy as shit. And the old man across at the gate is nosy as hell.
Now, with you needing to get on the computer for yourself for your checks, do you need to get on the computer to do it? Is it something you can do on the phone to check the account balance, or how do you want to do that?
I really don't even need the internet right now. I just need my computer. I don't even have to log into anything. I just need to be able to log into my Microsoft Money account.
On your computer? You see your computer's locked up, we can't get to that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We can get on, like if you wanted to get on one of our computers and log onto your account, then we can do it that way. But as far as anything else, I might. Do you know, that's what I was going to say, do you know how much money's in there? You just know how much to write a check for, or no?
It'd be really close. It'd be really close.
So you know how much is in there?
There should be 24, 26 in one, and about the same in the other-ish.
So you would be writing her a check for...
I'd write two separate checks. I'd clean out both of them as much as I can. So all the business deals they're supposed to pay me anyhow.
Right.
I can tell her, no, I ain't gonna give it a dime on them. The
But you need a computer you got the passwords and logins, you need a computer to log in. So if I bring a laptop in there, you could get on there and look in there so you would know how much you need to write the checks for.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that. I'm gonna get a computer.
I just need a piece of paper and a pencil.
All right, I'll get this for you. What you want to eat, man?
Whatever you guys want. Whatever's convenient.
Man, we ain't going through this again. What you want to eat, buddy? He's gonna grab something.
Bottle of Happy.
A T-bone.
What's convenient here local?
I mean, there's stuff on the Asheville Highway. You got KFC, you got McDonald's at the Circle, you got
Burger King,
Burger King,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, well, not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday.
That's right.
Subway,
Miami Grill.
Miami Grill. They got stuff like your basic
Euros, stuff like that.
Greek stuff.
I can go Subway, I can go Burger. I'm good.
What kind of, you want Subway?
That's fine.
What kind of sandwich?
Something hot.
They got that new steak, Philly steak sub, pretty good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And what they'll do is they'll melt it, toast it, and the cheese will melt down all over the stuff. It's really good.
You want the Philly?
Sure. That's excellent.
I'll tell you this, if you're gonna do that, the better place to get it is Miami Grill. Because they have the Supreme, and it comes with the Philly steak and cheese, and it's got lettuce, tomato, and everything on it. Miami Grill makes a better one than Subway. But it's up to you.
Everything.
The one at,
Lettuce.
Sure.
Tomato.
No, I'm not tomato.
You don't like tomato? Not a tomato.
I got jalapenos. Onions. I like jalapenos.
The grill comes with this.
Jalapenos.
If they got them. If not, no big deal.
I got you. That's fine.
That's fine.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mustard.
No, I'm good.
Vinegar. Oil. Salt, pepper.
The detectives do everything they can to make Kohlhepp feel comfortable. As long as he's willing to talk, there's the potential to find out about other victims that they might not yet know are connected to Kohlhepp.
Okay. What do you want to drink?
Coke. Some sort of chips. I'm really not picky.
Plain or barbecue?
If you got something that's got like sour cream and onion or some sort of like
I got you.
something got flavor. I don't eat normal potato chips.
I got you. All right. Thank you back, buddy. That's your pencil and pen and paper.
Oh, let me go. I need to get my mouse.
That figure If you're like me, I can't do without mouse either.
I'll tell you something, man. And this is.
Although I got a feeling.
But no, this is what the deal is, man. This won't work. It's a brand new computer, and it won't work.
I think my computer's got a virus on it.
Really?
Because when I went, I had a mouse just like that, and ran it in the ground. Well, then the battery supposedly, it one day just stopped working. Well, I swapped the batteries out, and I mean, those things, really, there's not much to go wrong on them. So we had that. And then I went and bought a brand new mouse, top of the line. Of course, since they've come down, the prices come way down.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, the mouse I used to pay $60, I'm paying like $9.95 for it.
This was originally was like $65, and now it's like, I went in there to replace it, and I was like,
But my computer has dual processor. It's called Godzilla for a reason. I had
you call your computer Godzilla?
No, the company that built it did.
Oh, it had a sticker on it. Special, you got a special made?
All of those are special made.
Okay.
Well, the little one that was underneath the other monitors, that was originally a normal thin line desktop I bought from my assistants, but then she screwed it up, so I took it back.
Okay, we'll give you this. You left hand, which side do you want the mouse on? Okay. I'll tell you something, I was looking at retiring next year, if I can get my wife to quit spending money.
Since Kohlhepp is willing to access his financial information for them, it will save the detectives the time of going through the legal procedures to do it themselves.
You're looking at what?
Looking at retiring from here, and I always wanted to go into real estate. I wish we had met at a different time in a different place.
If you ever want to come back and talk to me, I can teach you how to make so much friggin' money.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just a really cool guy, man.
Hell, I made $160K in the stock market in 5 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on finishing my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and a buddy of mine told me, he said, why do that? He said, you've already got your bachelor's degree for 19 years. He said, your best bet is to go do something else. What do you, just so I know, what are you logging on to? So if they ask me. Okay. That way if a supervisor says, hey, what was he logging on to on your computer? I would say, hey, I made sure that, you know what I'm saying?
I messed up. Okay. State. HKV5 SDT.
I have to have all mine in my phone.
No, I didn't remember that thought. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think this account's wrong, but I can fix part of it. Why? Because that's not right. But I can fix it. I'm not looking at it. Okay, I can solve this problem. There's not many problems I can't solve, I just get enough computer around me. Oh, I got very good at,
See, like my wife and our dream's always been to flip houses and stuff like that. I've got a friend that does it in Florida, who's pretty successful at it, but I'm real interested in the stock market. I'm just really stupid at it. And I've got a friend who does real estate, like I was telling you here, and I wouldn't trust him to cut my grass, but he is doing good in real estate. I don't understand.
Let me explain both of those to you, how to make money without screwing yourself in a second.
Okay. So I did sales for, I don't know if you remember all the Gold's Gyms that were here. I opened them. Me and a guy named David Dixon and a guy named David Gillespie.
Well, it's not as much money as I thought. But it'll work.
Okay.
It's more than my mom has nothing.
I understand.
I'm pretty sure that she's living on Social Security, which she ain't got shit.
Well, and I had an issue. I got to go take care of her tonight. She showed up at the house and tried to get $1,000 out of the lockbox, and the patrol officer that was there didn't know about it, so they wouldn't let her get it. So they called me afterwards, and they said we turned her away. I said, I'll take care of it. I'll fix it. I'll talk to her. I'll get it squared away.
I've already paid that owner on that, but that was supposed to be the late fees, all that in there. There's $1,000, $1,050. The guy always drops it off, so when I know he's going to drop it off, I just go ahead and pay it.
Well, I want to tell you this too. I talked to my lieutenant about the $13,000, and he said since that is not part of any of this, there should be no problem releasing it.
Okay.
We just have to go through some paperwork and some protocols, so we may have to have you come back over here again tomorrow to sign that over. Okay?
Okay.
And what I'm going to do today is I gotta talk to my lieutenant and the sheriff, or my captain and the sheriff about these checks, because we have a search warrant at your home, bringing the checks to get you to sign them. So, and I gotta see how, legality-wise, how we can do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it all at once. Bring you over here, get the check, get you to write out the checks, because I've already talked to the solicitor and everything, and they said as long as it doesn't have anything to do with the case, then we're good. And I said he doesn't.
Kohlhepp had started to care for his mother financially, which could place her in a difficult situation if he cannot access his money. The detectives are being surprisingly accommodating.
It has nothing to do with it. He's a legitimate businessman, real estate, he's legitimate. I said, he said, then the sheriff's office can handle that. So that's what we're gonna do. And that way I'll probably bring you back over here tomorrow.
Well, if I can get her this, she has something to work with.
Okay.
Then she give, pretty much, I'm gonna have her give basically half of it, then she get to Ashley. We're gonna go ahead and get I gotta get a power of attorney done, because I can turn it over. The house is paid for. Well, I'll just cut the price to fire sale and get the thing sold. I mean, it's $175,000. You want a $175,000 house for $150,000?
I couldn't afford it.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Get in, get done, get out.
Yeah. Just quick sale.
Quick sale.
Yeah.
$150,000. I just pay for a kid's college.
Yeah.
I just pay for kids' college, and Ashley's taken care of. My dogs are taken care of, because Ashley can't afford to feed those dogs.
Right.
I've been kicking her everything from dog food to those rawhide dogs.
You were worried about her getting fired. Where does she work?
A place called SDS, Southern Design Systems.
Where's that at?
If you go down, you'll never find it. If you go down 29.
The logo's SDS. I've seen the logo.
If you are across, if you're coming down 29.
Do you want to log off of that, or?
Yeah, I just want you to see us here. I don't want you to think.
No, I don't take this the wrong way, but I trust you. We're good.
Yeah, see, the only thing I won't touch is that account, because that's not mine.
I don't see what that is.
Escrow. That's where people had brought me money, they hold it in escrow, $29,000.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
Actually, that's off too. It should be an odd number.
Would somebody have put money in there that you know about?
But I might have paid a repair bill out of it and haven't got. That's what happened. I didn't get reimbursed for the damn. Screw it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the drama. For a couple $100, it's not worth the drama. I'd rather.
Yeah.
See, I'm an ethical killer.
And that's.
Yeah.
Me and the sheriff had a long talk about that last night, and
I like the sheriff.
He's a great guy. And see, that's the thing. I can retire in 11 months.
Although Kohlhepp is coming across as friendly and charming, those that knew him described him as being antisocial and short-tempered.
And I'm not going to, because as long as he's sheriff, I'll be here. I mean, as long as he's sheriff, I'll be here. You know.
Thank you. I would be very surprised if he doesn't win Tuesday.
Yeah, I will be too. I don't think there's a chance he's going to lose.
Lynch likes to complain a lot about the car.
About the Raptor?
Yeah. Okay. And? Sure. Man, do what the hell you want to do.
Well, there are certain guidelines in the laws that allow him to do certain things, and he followed those guidelines. And the truck goes, he actually has a per diem for a truck, and the truck that he was driving that he had the per diem, he gave to the sheriff's office, and one of our officers is driving it. So, I mean, he followed everything by the letter of the law.
Now, if he's driving my Z4, we're going to have to talk.
that would be mean.
See, I want my mom to take that And as much as I hate to see it go, I told her, I said, if you want it, you can have it.
Mhm.
But you can also sell it, and y'all can stop eating ramen noodles all this time. I didn't know she was that bad off. I didn't know.
Wow.
Dude, I haven't talked. Last time I talked to her, she was my size.
She thanked me yesterday when we were leaving.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time? I mean, because you guys hadn't talked. How long had it been?
It was 3 Christmases ago.
She thanked me because she said, she thanked me. As a matter of fact, she almost said the same exact thing when I came back in with you. She said, thank you. And I said, you're welcome, ma'am. I said, for what?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, for helping me and him reconnect. You know, she didn't say it in those exact words, but that's basically what she's saying. And
I did the best I could to make it work. She'll blame herself for days, and I'm like, it's not your fault.
right.
You know.
Right.
But yeah, we got to talk. It was good. But I didn't know. My God, she got skinny.
Really?
Yeah, like 80 pounds worth. She's dropped it. I know she ain't got no money. I didn't know it was that bad. If I didn't know it was that bad, I would have mysteriously done something. I've done that a few times in my life.
With your mom?
With people.
Really?
I've had friends who got themselves. I hire a lot of people, and sometimes I pay them above rate.
To help them out?
You may want to seriously.
At the other end of the spectrum, Kohlhepp would also murder people he had hired if they upset him.
Talk to Dustin Lawson and give him a heads up. He's a dumbass. He's a 32-year-old lazy kid who never had a daddy. Okay, so he basically lived with women all his life.
I'll tell you this, I don't think the issue is Dustin Lawson, okay? I think the issue is who Dustin Lawson got the guns from. Who he went to get the guns from.
Oh no, that's an easy solution.
Okay?
That was all legit.
So he legitimately bought the guns?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then I modified the hell out of them.
Okay.
Now they're not.
Well, I didn't know if Dustin Lawson was buying them from somebody illegally.
No.
Okay.
Cabela's Academy, I had one the Barrett got shipped in from Impact Guns.
Okay.
Hell, I got the receipts.
Okay. These ammo places, I
got the tax stamps.
Really?
Those suppressors were bought legally for about 3 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Did you made some of the suppressors at your lathe?
Yes.
How'd you learn to do it? Just on the internet, or just looking at the ones and breaking them down?
Most of them you can't open.
Right.
And I was trying to explain to the really tall dude with the bikini shirt.
Yeah.
He's cool as hell too.
Joey?
I guess.
Guthrie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And I explained to him the difference between they had the old stainless steel baffles, then they went to the M baffle. All the M baffle is, I don't want to keep that.
Okay.
M baffle looks like a freeze plug with just a hole in it, and they just stack them. That's an M baffle.
Okay.
M, basically, because sometimes they indent this slightly, so it's like an M.
Oh, okay.
Then you have a K baffle. K baffle, yeah, K baffle. Now what this looks like from the down view is you have a circle. And then of course right here is your hole the bullet goes through. Then you have to take a milling machine or a drill will work, and bore a small hole at a diagonal so that you basically cut a hole through to there.
Right.
Okay? This has to have a, well, actually you can leave that alone, but you got to bore a small hole right here.
Hold on a second.
There, and this is a hollow cone. So you basically have to, this just has to have a small hole here. Now the very first one has to have a blast chamber, and all that is you elongate one so that it has a longer time before it actually hits. Otherwise, if you're shooting a rifle, pistol doesn't need it, but a rifle, it'll knock the crap out of it.
Okay.
So you stack these, and then the very last one, you don't do that. What you do is you just make it like a wedding ring, and you just basically make a band, and then you basically fit it to where so that it fits in tightly, and you sit there and you'll just sand that little bad boy off till it all fits together, and you tighten that bad boy up, and I'm going to tell you, and then if you look at all the, it's going to be funny as hell, lube I have, Dude, that ain't for sex.
You lived in the workshop?
Yes. All the syringes?
Yeah. Is that what that is? We were wondering what that was. We're afraid to...
No.
A search of Kohlhepp's property uncovered numerous weapons, including 9mm pistols outfitted with suppressors, semi-automatic rifles, and an undetermined amount of ammunition. Because there was no record of a background check under Kohlhepp's name for purchasing a firearm, investigators initially believed he likely acquired the weapons illegally.
All that is wire loop, cooling loop. If you take pull lube, take your suppressor, squirt it in. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you. The needles, it's lube. You ain't just suppressors.
If you do that on a pistol suppressor, do not do that on a rifle suppressor. You make it what's called a wet suppressor. That's what I'll do. Which one you want?
I don't care. Whichever one you don't.
Good. If you squirt that into the initial baffles and then screw the can on, it drops your decibels 3 to 4 decibels. Really, just gives you that added thing. Now, me personally, I only use those when I'm playing. Personally, white lithium grease from the spray can. Just take it with a long tube, push it all the way in, and spray it as you pull out so it hits all of them. Not only will that drop your decibels 3 to 4 decibels, easy, but when you have to clean the baffles later on, especially a 22 baffle, it's really dirty. It's really dirty.
I can use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Wash your hands.
I will.
Yes, sir. Boy, when I go back to the pod tonight and I fart, they're going to be jail ears. I'll do that. Yeah, the only thing I need is those numbers later.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I just put this over here so you wouldn't.
I'll just tell you, you get me talking guns, and I can talk about guns for...
I hear you, dude.
Well, he was asking me how I learned all this. Internet.
It goes back to what we were talking about before, huh?
You sit there, get involved, look at how to build some of this stuff. Go online, look at images.
It's not hard.
And you reverse engineer it.
That's it.
You reverse engineer it. The shops around here will make them for you. They're illegal as hell, but they will make it. They won't get paid. But they make crap. They won't make a K-valve. And that's the way the newer ones are called monolith, where it's tube inside of a tube that fits totally. And what they do is it looks from the side, they've milled out. It looks like washers just stacked this way, but it's just been milled out, and all it does is go through. Now, they're not as quiet, but for a 22 suppressor, you unscrew it, because you got to do it like every 300 rounds or you're screwed, man. Do that, knock it off a couple times. I hit it with some white lithium, screw that bad boy back together, you're back in business.
What do you think about the HK SDs? The MP5 SDs?
It's actually my password for...
Really?
The MP5 SD2s, they're heavy, but they're awesome.
They are.
And if you get the Navy trigger group, yeah, they're awesomeness. What you can do with them, well, they've got the integral. The barrel is integral suppressor to it. They are, from my understanding, they are the baseline standard when testing again. You guys got one, don't you?
Saw it several.
Damn. Those are sweet.
That's what everything else compares itself to.
That's what they compare to.
You ever seen a honey badger?
Kohlhepp is more than happy to talk about all of the modifications he made to his weapons. The detectives can only hope he will be as forthcoming about the murders.
That is bad.
You mean the animal, or what are you talking about? I don't.
The AAC honey badger?
I haven't seen that. What's that?
It's the integral suppressed 300 blackout honey badger.
Oh. I haven't. No,
it's quieter than a MP5SD?
It is bad to the bone.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, the 300 blackout is perfect for you guys doing entry. I mean, it hits like a freight train.
Oh, yeah.
And it cycles.
Oh, yeah.
5.56 and 7.62 won't cycle. It's not as quiet as I would like.
Mm-hmm.
I got the 16-inch upper, and I didn't like it.
Right.
It wasn't quiet enough. So I put it back on the shelf, never shot it again. And then I went out and bought a 12.5-inch upper. It is a little bit quieter, but it's still, once again, it's not great. It's you're never going to get Hollywood quiet. Now, my 300, well, you guys really should have opened up the safe. 65085. I'll make it easy on you. Open the happy box up. Would love to have the paperwork given to my mom, because that's the payments of the land are in there.
Okay.
But she only needs the paperwork.
I got you.
There is a Ruger precision rifle that I've had tweaked in there, and there is it started life as a Remington 700 PSS, police sniper system. And then I modified it, and it now has, I took the barrel off, the AAC barrel on it, so I shortened the barrel up so when you put a can on it, which in the back of the SUV is the Cyclops suppressor for it.
Okay.
Cyclone suppressor for it. Now that one, if you're shooting any of the subsonics I got, homie don't know you're there.
I hear you.
You'll know if somebody, they'll hear something, but they won't have any clue what it was or where to look. Which means now you can get his buddy. But as far I used to mess with the hunters. The hunters would come on the land, and I would play with the hunters. I wouldn't hit them,
I got you.
but I break the stuff.
That's when we're talking about thermoses and...
Thermoses.
Yeah.
And if you're dumb enough, most of these guys don't know how to use the knobs. They get these, man, you see these guys go to Cabela's, and they get a 338 Lapua. Very few people know how to use a piece of machinery. You're not going to carry, it's like a Barrett. I hear on Facebook all the time, that's my favorite gun. Have you ever shot one? No. Why is it your favorite gun? That's what I use on Call of Duty. This ain't a video game. Trust me. And being a sniper is a shit job. It ain't like Hollywood. You're going to pee on yourself. You're going to sit there long hours. You ain't going to go nowhere. It's uncomfortable. And 9 times out of 10, you don't even get to shoot. You're giving somebody else information. It ain't the cool job. And you tell them, that's what I like. And they go with the Barrett. I go, do you even have any idea what that thing is for? It's not meant for people. It's meant to take out vehicles, radar domes, missile systems.
That's right.
If some asshole wants to go behind a barricade, I don't think you guys really have a need for a Barrett, but you never know.
Right.
But I mean, I'd rather have it than not have it.
That's true.
I'm
gonna step on back here just a second. I got a drink back here. You still
Can we
good?
bring me water?
Yeah.
Or meet me halfway with the water?
Yeah, we're talking guns again.
Huh?
We're talking guns again.
I'm actually fascinated by it, what you're telling me.
Well, they got that, the integral. The integrals of the whole barrel is an actual the tube for the suppressor, and then they have a new monolith, which they're only for 22s. I've got one. You can play with it. It's a tube inside the tube. It just threads in, and it's got. You've got the hole through. It's like washers. But what they've done is they've just basically taken a milling machine and drilled through and just taken out as much material as they can, so as light as possible. You don't have that much either.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, I'm gonna eat it.
Good. Eat. He has a hiatal hernia, so he has to eat alone because he eats slow, real slow. And he's so fast, he eats around other people and it takes him too long. I love him to death.
Good, thank you.
I mean, I love him to death. He's that good? I want to steer you wrong, man. Food's my thing.
I made a joke with him. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to the pod. I'm going to let one fart loose, and I'll make everybody jealous.
Take this crop dust, bitch.
So, y'all had sandwiches again.
The detectives have done their best to build a rapport with Kohlhepp, and he seems like he will be receptive to them.
Oh, they're all back at the pod. They're just...
Well, the thing about it is, kids today, they call them millennials. And they want everything handed to them. I had a buddy. And this is when I first realized it. We didn't expect it from my generation. When have you ever been to Jacksonville? Jacksonville, Florida.
I have not.
When you come into Jacksonville on St. John's River, and through the Intercoastal, there's a place called North Florida Steel, North Florida Shipyards. His parents owned all of it. His dad and his uncle. And he went to the Citadel. He was going to go into the military. Found out he had a heart murmur. So he couldn't. So he goes to the Citadel. He graduates from the Citadel. He thinks he should go from the Citadel to the boardroom. No. It doesn't work like that. You've got to pay your dues. It took me, I've been in violent crimes now for 5 years. I've been a cop for 19. It took me that long to get to violent crimes because
one of the guards that's at the jail is a friend of mine on Facebook. Haven't seen him. He had a heart problem, had surgery the other day. Chris something, I don't remember his last name.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Super nice guy. He's really depressed. And I mean, I was the guy on Facebook that used to always kid with him. He's going to blow his mind if he ever sees me. We've never met. But I'm always the one giving him the pep talk about, dude, seriously, I call him my Aryan.
Bald-headed kid. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We were talking one day, and he wants to work the jail, so that eventually Chuck Wright will let him move to patrol, because he wants to be a sergeant or something, and he wants to go SWAT. I said, well, that's great, but you realize it's going to take a little bit of time.
Well, and the thing about it is, and I say this now, most other sheriff's offices do that. And the reason being, when they put me on the road, straight out of the academy, after my field training and everything, I really wasn't ready. I was 26 years old, but I had gone from living from suburbia to being out there, But I had a lot of people that took me under their wing and made sure I was okay, but, I'm still out there. So the sheriffs, and he's modeling other agencies, you put them in the jail, they're in a controlled environment. They learn how to deal with people. They learn how to deal with people in close quarters. They learn how to communicate with people. Then after they do that, if they show, a proficiency for that, then they can apply to transfer over to the sheriff's office. And if the supervisors at the jail say, yes, this is a good candidate, then they can do that. And what it does, it puts better officers on the street. Because one of the worst things you do, you give a young kid a badge, and I ran into it. You give a young kid a badge, and he goes from college to a badge and a gun, and he's 6 foot tall and bulletproof, and you're not going to tell him anything. He knows everything.
That's where you get the one officer who does bad. But then from that moment on, the public sees that one officer. He doesn't see the other 80 that are doing their job. I haven't had a bad experience with law enforcement.
A bad experience with law enforcement is putting it mildly. Kohlhepp was arrested and imprisoned for kidnapping in 1984.
My experience with law enforcement has been when I got messed up.
I've had people they're not allow their kids to be friends with my son because they found out I was a cop. when he first came to me with it and asked me about it, I said, honey, he's a little guy. And it upset him. He wasn't even 10 yet. And he's like, I don't understand. And I said, honey, that tells me that they're either doing something wrong, they've had a run-in with the law that they did something wrong, or they have a family member that has had a run-in and that they did something wrong. It's no reflection on you or me. You know, it's a reflection on them. And if they don't want to be your friend because of that, then they're not a friend you want to have. Or if their parents won't let them be your friend because of that, then that's not a friend that I want you to
I
have.
have cops on my friends list on Facebook. Okay, may not go sit here and talk guns with you all day, because you might find out that, hey, I didn't have them. But we talk about cars, and I talk about women, and I talk about all kinds of other things, and I make people laugh.
You're funny.
And I give him so much hassle. He gets down to press. But
you know, it's really kind of wild. I need to ask you a couple questions real quick.
Sure.
Before I forget. The fleece that you wore, you said you still had it. It's a Superbikes? Where's it at?
closet?
Is it going to be in the closet in your house?
Probably the one in the house.
Excuse me.
Damn thing still fits.
What's it look like? What kind is it?
It says Columbia on it.
It's a Columbia, please? The shoulder holster, do you still have it?
No.
Okay.
But I have many like it.
You got a nice gym set.
Don't sell. You guys just aren't used to having one that...
Well, you know what's funny? It's not funny. I shouldn't say it's funny. I have a friend who introduced my wife and me to each other. He's in the same position you're in right now. In Florida.
This big of a problem?
Pretty close.
Damn.
And he actually introduced my wife and me in high school. We grew up together in high school. So that's like, I grew up with him from the 7th grade through college. His issue, he was a correction officer, but his issue was he married a girl and she got him hooked on drugs. And, you know, he ended up making some really bad decisions. So kind of like, and he made me laugh. So when I'm sitting here talking to you, I kind of see that, you know, my friend, you know, so that's kind of.
As the conversation becomes more serious, the detective subtly makes a personal connection with Kohlhepp to reinforce himself as a friendly figure.
You know, it's kind of a
I'm just wondering how...
surreal feeling.
I wonder how this is going to play out.
What do you mean?
They're either going to put me on a gurney, which is what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting. Or they're going to put me in a little box somewhere, away from anybody and everybody, which I don't expect. I actually expect it earned.
What do you want? I mean, all joking aside, okay, what do you want?
Take me out back, shoot me back in the head.
I wouldn't. Let me ask this. I studied psychology a little bit in college. You want me to finish, like I said, I'm working on finishing college. The people at Superbikes made you angry. I don't know, you tell me, well, when people at Superbikes made you angry, and not just angry, but I mean, they belittled you, they humiliated you, they made you angry enough to do what happened. And then you had the situation this last Christmas, and then this most recent situation. The time span. What kept anything from happening? You know, because that's a question.
I don't need to kill.
Well, I'm not saying you do. I mean, you know, but that's a genuine question.
I mean, per your legal definition, I'm serial, but I'm not.
Okay.
Honestly, if Johnny had pulled the knife,
Mm-hmm.
if you'd seen the knife, you'd laugh your ass off.
Really?
Oh, God. Black and white tiger stripe. It was one of those
The handle?
Yeah.
The one time you buy at the little convenience store? Are you serious?
I'm going, my ammo costs more than your damn knife. Are you kidding me? You're costing me money.
But you're gonna stab me, at least stab me with a butt knife or something, you know? something with a little history, you know?
Pick the thing up on the doing.
This is after you shot him?
Oh, yeah. He put that thing out, and I went, here's how it's gonna go. Okay, let's dance. And the other problem is if they don't put me on the gurney,
Mm-hmm.
when the people inside realize the people I hunt is them.
I'll be scared to death of you. They'll be scared to death of you.
Because I never in my life never hurt another person. I'm entirely okay with that.
It's like with superbikes and with this, it's just a reactional situation. And that,
I wouldn't have ever hurt another person again. I had a problem with the drug dealers, but I kept it under control.
mm-hmm.
But then, very uncool. Very uncool.
I had a drug dealer. I lost my cousin, my best cousin. You always have, my dad's family's a small family. I mean, I shouldn't say small family. His father had 6 brothers and a sister. But as far as he was an only child. My mom's family, she's got a big family. I had a real close cousin. And in the beginning of the year, someone gave her some drugs that they shouldn't have. And she had a heart condition. And she went to sleep. And they were low financial means. And she went to sleep with her daughter, the bed, and passed in her sleep. Then her daughter woke up and found her. And that's something her daughter's going to live with for the rest of her life. And, you know, so I mean, the drug thing, it just...
Unfortunately, the detective chooses to expound on his own story rather than allow Kohlhepp to speak.
You know.
It digs into me on that one.
Yeah.
I've seen too many people go down that path. I don't like the junkies, but I can understand the junkies. The dealer's only there for...
Todd Kohlhepp pleaded guilty to 7 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of criminal sexual assault. He was sentenced to 7 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole in a plea bargain that spared him from capital punishment. Although his defense swore at his sentencing that there were no other victims to be found, Kohlhepp has since repeatedly admitted that there were at least 2 other murders. And that's where we end this video. If you liked today's video, then drop a line. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.